Hey there, everybody. Hopefully you can hear me all right. So for today's exercise, what we're going to be doing, this is Packet Tracer 1.5.3.5. This comes from the Cybersecurity Essentials section of the NetAcad material. And so what I've done, I've already opened up this Packet Tracer, but I haven't done anything with it yet. I just wanted to kind of walk you guys through here, and we're going to take a look and see how to successfully perform a packet tracer and turn it in for grading. Okay, now what I've done is I've broken out the instructions right here. Got the instructions right there. And then this is the packet tracer workspace over here. And ordinarily I would put these on separate computer monitors, but I wanted to put them all together, for recording purposes. And plus, some people don't have two monitors at home. I guess probably a lot of people are using a laptop or something. Anyways, so what we're going to do is we're just going to go through here and we're going to review some of these instructions and see how this thing works. Okay, so we're given some IP addressing and some device names here at the very outset. Okay, it looks like we're all using the same subnet mask. All right, so that's good. And everybody's on the 10.44.1 network except for the backup file server. It's on the 10.44.2 network. So I don't know if that'll be important later or not, but just something to take note of. And here's our objectives, 1 through 6. We're supposed to configure an FTP server, a web server, an email server, DNS, an NTP, and a AAA. So let's go down through here and see what happens. All right, so part 1, configure FTP server. So we're going to activate the FTP service. It says click on Metropolis Bank headquarters. Okay, there it is. And then find the FTP web server. Okay, right here it goes. And click on the services tab. And it looks like HTTP are both switched off, but it tells us we want to enable FTP, so let's do that. Enable FTP. Now, FTP is on, and what else are we supposed to do? Okay, we have to set up some usernames. So it tells us our usernames are going to be Bob, Mary, and Mike. Now remember, this thing is case sensitive, so make sure that you put it in just like it says. And everybody's got the same password, Cisco 123. Okay, and it says here each user account should have full permissions. So let's go ahead and give them all full permission. And add. Okay, and the next one is Mary. Password is Cisco 123, all permissions, add. Because, in reality, a lot of times what you're going to do, especially if you're setting up something like a guest account, you're only going to give that guy read permission. Let's see, Mike. Cisco 123. Oh, read, write, delete, list, all that good stuff. Okay, so everybody's got that. Okay, now configure the web server. All right, well, it just so happens we're already on the FTP/web server, and we're already in the services area. So let's go to HTTP, and we're going to turn on HTTP and HTTPS. So we've got both, because it says do both. And if you want to get full credit for these labs, you have to do exactly what the instructions say. Otherwise, you'll have red X's at the end, and I'll show you what I'm talking about. Okay, now verify the HTTP service. All right, let's X out of this for the time being. Now we're going to go to the PC named Sally. Okay, now in a lot of these labs, and because I've been burned by this so many times, I know that whenever I click on one of these PCs, I should go ahead and check the IP configuration. Okay, now IP configuration here is good. We've got an IP address. Okay, so bonus. Sometimes there's no IP address on these devices, and so then you have to activate DHCP or plug in your own static address depending on what the instructions say. All right, where were we? Sally, desktop, web browser. Now we're going to go to www.cisco.corp. Go. Thing may take a minute to respond. And I've got a feeling we're going to get an error message because one of the things that I can see coming up is configure the DNS server. If there's no DNS server, then what's going to happen when we type in cisco.corp? Well, not much. We can't reach that because the computer doesn't know what that means. We have to have some way of translating that into a number, an IP address in particular. Okay, so that didn't seem to work too well. Let's see, let's try using the IP address. Let's see, 10.44.1.254. Yes, see, it comes back and it says hostname unresolved. That's because we haven't got the DNS running yet, which is the answer to this question right here. Why would a user be able to browse to an IP address but not to a fully qualified domain name? Because the DNS is out to lunch. Okay, so if we put the numbers in, we get it, right? Okay, cool. That's what we expected. Okay, now then, let's quit fooling around and activate a DNS server. Now, right here goes a box that's labeled email/DNS. So let's open that guy up, go to the Services tab, and we want him to be our DNS guy. Okay, so yeah, look, our DNS is not even turned on. So we're going to switch our DNS on, and then we're going to start putting in some records. Let's see, email.cisco.corp. And the address is 10.44.1.254. Oh, I'm sorry, 1.253. This is the email server we're talking about. All right, so we're going to add. So there it is, 10.44.1.243, crud. Okay, I messed it up. All right, so what we're going to do is we're going to change that guy. He's supposed to be 253. Save. Okay, we saved our change. All right, cool. Now then, let's put another one in here. This is going to be www, our web server. Okay, and this one's going to be .254. And we're going to add that. Okay, so we got Cisco, www, and email. Same domain. 53, 54, perfect. All right, excelente. All right, now we got DNS activated, got a couple records in. Oh, let me show you this. We're just going to do this. We're just going to put in JL, and we're going to put in 10.44.1.254. Okay, cool. Now let's go back over to Sally. Web browser. Okay, let's put in, what was it? www.cisco.corp. Go. Okay, much improved. Now we've got a DNS server, and so it knows what to do. Okay, now let's do this. That works too, because we put JL in as, with the same address. So DNS resolves JL to the same address as cisco.corp. All right, well, looks like our DNS is working. So we've got that running. Now it says configure an email server. Okay, Metropolis Bank HQ, which I think is where we are. Go back to the email/DNS server. All right, services, email. Okay, SMTP service on. And do we also need, yep, we need POP3. Hardly anybody uses POP service anymore in the real world, but it's okay. Okay, the domain here is cisco.corp, same as we saw before. And usernames, we got Phil. Oh, we got a bunch of them. We all using password of Cisco123. Okay, so this is not exactly the most secure setup ever, but whatever. This way it'll be easy for us to remember which password goes with which account, right? If you're working in a major corporation, this would be one way to, make it really, really easy to take care of your users. Just give everybody the same password. And that way, if somebody calls up and they say, hey, man, I need IT services because I have forgot my password, you can just say, hey, type in password and see if that works. And they'll be like, oh, yeah, that's it. I'm back in. Trouble call, trouble ticket closed, right? Doing it the easy way. Okay, how many users? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. All right, cool. And hopefully we got all those spelled correctly. User email clients. Okay, let's close out of this. All right, click the PC named Sally. Click the desktop tab. We did it. Okay, that's where we are. Okay, now let's try doing some email. Email, where is it? Right there it is. Okay, Sally. Email address, Sally at. Okay, incoming and outgoing mail server is email dot. Now we have a DNS entry for email. So we can just put it in like this. If we didn't have a DNS running, then we would have to put in the actual IP address. Okay, and logon information. Username Sally. Password is Cisco123. Excellent. Save it. Okay, cool. Let's exit out of there. Now it says go to the PC named Bob. Do the exact same thing. Okay, now desktop. First things first, let's go to ipconfig and just make sure that Bob has an address. Yes, he does. Because, if your PC doesn't have an IP address, then all this is going to be a waste of time because you can't communicate anyway. All right, my name is Bob. My address is bob at Cisco.corp. Sorry, this video is probably really lag, but okay, username is Bob, password is Cisco123. Save. All right, now Bob and Sally have email addresses set up on their host computers. All right, now then, Metropolis Bank, select the NTP 888. NTP. All right, services. NTP. And we're going to turn this guy on. And does it say to do anything else? Okay, we turned it on. Configure key 1. Authentication enable. Key number 1. And password, again, is our favorite. Cisco123. Okay. All right, so that should be good to go. Now, what about the AAA service? Okay, AAA. And it says here, use AAA, turn it on. And let's see the client. What does it say? Client name is HQ Router. And these have to be exact. Oops. HQ_router with an IP address of 10.44.1.1. This is a router gateway address. Secret is Cisco123. And add that. Okay. And all right, well, I thought it was going to have us do something with this, but it did not. So what we've done here is set up our security. Let's exit out of that. All right, so I think we have fulfilled all the instructions for this packet tracer. Now, how can we know? Well, let's check results and see what it says. Okay, activity is incomplete. Please try again. So what did we not do? Oh, shoot. Okay, we must have missed a step. All right, no problem. Close that. Okay, what did we not do? Let's look. Oh, okay, configure the AAA user account of admin. Ah, dang it. Okay. There was one more instruction there that I did not see. Okay, so let's go back to our security server and go back to AAA. Okay, and user setup. User account is admin. Password 123. Add. This is like the least secure network on the planet. Or maybe the most secure. Wonder if somebody would, some hacker came along and they'd be like, there's no way they would put Cisco123 as their passwords. And so they would just overlook that possibility. Okay, this is more like it. Congratulations, we successfully completed the packet tracer. Okay, good deal. Now, for purposes of handing in your work, what I want to see is this page here. So what we'll do is bring up the snipping tool. Snipping tool. Okay. New. Okay, so what I'm going to do is, because we're already at the bottom here, so I'm going to go ahead and snip this. And really, this is all you need, because you see right here where it says, congratulations, you completed the activity. That means everything here is going to be green check marks. So if I just save this, I could just copy it, or I could save the snip as a JPEG. And okay, we'll just save this as capture.jpg. Save it. Okay, and then I'll upload that to Canvas, and that'll do for my grading. I'll be able to see that you actually did everything like you were supposed to. Okay, now if you don't have congratulations, if you have any problems, then make sure you include that as a snip also. Snip out the section where you've got the red X's so that I can look and see what you did. All right, so that basically is it for doing packet tracers and handing them in. And hopefully that's going to help you get your work done. Just always remember, whenever you go into Packet Tracer and it tells you to, like go to a workstation and do this, that, and the other, first thing, click on that workstation, click on Desktop, IP config, and just make sure you actually do have an IP address, because if you don't, then none of your commands are going to work. Okay, y'all, thanks very much, and happy networking, and I'll see you in the next one.